Scholars, Mr. Phelps is back in Chicago here at a wonderful plant conservatory, and we actually found some fish in this pond. Each of these fish weighs 212 ounces. If there are 108 fishes in our pond, what's the total weight of all of the fish? See if you can figure out using any method you want. Go to work. So if you just watched this video, I'll read the question and annotate as we go. Example 1. Each fish in the pond weighs 121 ounces. If there are 108 fish in the pond, what is the total weight? Use the standard algorithm to solve. Notice what I've circled, underlined, and boxed. And now I have to figure out my expression. Well, what operation could I use here? If there are 121 ounces for every fish, and we have 108 of these fishes, well, we're trying to find a bunch of these groups, so we can use multiplication. 121 times 108. Notice there's no equal sign here. No equal sign because it's an expression. Equal signs make it an equation. So this is the layout for our standard algorithm. Notice I've already put in the values, 121 and 108. These two numbers are called factors. Write that into the box. Two numbers we multiply together give us factors. All right, so now let's multiply like we normally start. So here we have our 8. We're going to start multiplying to 8. 8 times 1 is 8. Then I have 8 times 2. That's 16. So I write my 6, and my 1 goes above the next place value. And now I do 8 times 1. That's 8, plus the 1 we carried. 8 plus 1 is 9. So that gives us 968. We're done with my 8. Now we have to move on to our 0. Before we multiply by the 0, this placeholder here goes right underneath the 8 because we're multiplying now by the tens place. This 0 is in the tens place. And anytime we multiply by the tens place, we need to put that 0 as a placeholder. So now we can do 0 times 1. Well, that's 0. 0 times 2, that's 0. And 0 times 1 again is still 0. So we have a row of zeros. All right? That was my tens place. Now what's new about this problem is we have a number in the hundreds place. It's a 3-digit value. Oh my goodness. We got to figure this out together. All right, well the first thing to notice is when we multiply by the hundreds place, we put 2 placeholder zeros. Now you might ask, why is that? Excellent question. So when we're multiplying by the hundreds place, like the 1 that's right here, we put these placeholder zeros because we're not actually just multiplying by 1. This 1 is in the hundreds place, so it's worth 100. So we're actually doing 100 times 1, and then 100 times 2, and then 100 times 1. Instead of writing all those numbers out individually, the algorithm says we can just put these 2 zeros here, and the numbers will be equivalent. So just remember, when you multiply by the hundreds place, we need to put 2 placeholder zeros. All right, let's try the multiplication. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. And 1 times 1 is 1. So we have all of our values placed carefully underneath, and now we need to add them up. So let's draw our line. Here we go. Our ones place. 8 plus 0 plus 0 is 8. 6 plus 0 plus 0 is 6. 9 plus 0 plus 1 is 10. Put a 0. Regroup that 1 into the oops, thousands place. These dots are just so I know what number I'm multiplying. Now I have 1 plus 0 plus 2. That's 3. And then all the way in the 10,000s place, that 1. Our comma would go right after the 3. So we have 13,068 ounces. The key thing to remember here are these place value zeros. I'm going to highlight them again just so you know this 0 and these 2 zeros. You must remember to put those, or your numbers will not accurately represent your answer.